Nintendo's latest quarterly briefing has just come out, and we now have more information on some of their recent sales and games that has released within the last fiscal year, and obviously the hardware sales as well. And it lets us know that it might be time for Nintendo to start shifting gears pretty soon. But let's jump into the software stuff first, because this is pretty exciting to me as a huge Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door fan. I was waiting to see what the sales were going to look like, and not too bad. Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door has sold 1.76 million copies, which is just slightly higher than Super Paper Mario on the Wii and slightly lower than Paper Mario Sticker Star on the 3DS, which is crazy. I'd never realized how many copies that sold out the gate. I guess people were really excited for it, but obviously it had no legs in the long run with its lifetime sales. But if you look at Origami King, clearly people really want a new Paper Mario game, but for a remake, oh my goodness, that is pretty daggone good. It's nothing absolutely jaw-dropping, but it is pretty good for a remake, and you have to remember that this is still overall a GameCube game that came out many years ago. But this is really exciting, and literally with only like a couple of months under its belt, it's almost sold more than the original, so that is pretty good. But I was really hoping to see this game sell around 4 to 5 million. Would have been insane. It doesn't sound very likely because Origami King didn't have very long legs because it only reached 3.4, and still Super Paper Mario is up there at 4.2. So who knows, maybe it has longer legs eventually, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD sales are in, and they are relatively low. In fact, they're just underneath the original on the 3DS, so nothing super spectacular. And I mean, I think we all saw that one coming, where Luigi's Mansion 3 is just up there, man, and it deserves to be up there. And as you can see, look at its legs as well. It was just absolutely a powerhouse game for Nintendo that they probably never even expected to be. But the original Luigi's Mansion 2 had some legs, so we'll see if this one does. I doubt it will go that much higher, but yeah, that's what's going to happen when you make a remaster-like game with really nothing added to it from the 3DS and then try to sell it for $60. I'm just saying. There's other charts too for like Breath of the Wild that's actually doing better than Tears of the Kingdom with his legs right now, which is crazy, and it deserves it because it's better. I'm saying it, I'm sorry. Mario Odyssey, New Super Mario Brothers, Mario Party game, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you know, obviously the games that we know are still selling hot, even Animal Crossing New Horizons, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, stuff that we'd expect. But I want to get into the hardware sales now because it's nothing, you know, surprising. It's just kind of interesting, and it shows that Nintendo needs to make some changes soon, and that's their hardware. Now, Nintendo obviously has been absolutely on top of the world with the Switch, and we knew last year and even this year it was going to be kind of slower time periods for Nintendo Switch, and it's definitely showing with their sales. Compared to Q1 of 2024, it's down like 46%, and yeah, 70% loss of profit, which it makes a lot of sense when you look at the fact that we haven't had a huge game since Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, yes, Super Mario Wonder was pretty big, but Tears of the Kingdom was arguably the last 20 million seller, you know what I mean? That last big, huge AAA game that everybody's waiting for, and that was at the beginning of last year, and we haven't had anything like that. It's just been Princess Peach Showtime, Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, Luigi's Mansion 2 so far. And even going throughout the rest of the year is why I want to talk about this, is it's going to stay the same, because for the rest of the year we just have Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Mario and Luigi Brothership, and Mario Party Jamboree, which are some really exciting games, but none of them are anywhere near that scale. They are thankfully new games, which is going to help the sales a lot more because, you know, Paper Mario, Luigi's Mansion, old games, but I think they're going to sell similar or around the same, you know, idea of Princess Peach Showtime in my head. So yeah, their sales are going to continue to drop. Now, obviously for the actual sales during the time period, Q4 of last year was pretty low. There wasn't a lot of holiday stuff going around, but overall sales are plummeting and they're dropping very, very fast, and they're probably going to continue to drop. Nintendo's at 141 units sold, and honestly, I think there might be a chance they can squeak to 150. I mean, they're going to have some games, because obviously Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door and Luigi's Mansion 2 is just not enough. They're going to have to sell more than 2 million units a quarter, or they're not going to reach 150. That's Nintendo's goal, is to reach 150 million units, so we're just going to have to wait and see what they're going to do next. Are they really banking on Echoes of Wisdom, Mario Party Jamboree, and also Mario and Luigi Brothership to sell that? I guess, I mean, that's their goal right now. So I think they can easily reach 150, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. Nintendo apparently even come out in their report and said that yes, the falling yen has hit them hard with that 70% decline in profit. Yeah, I can imagine. But they say, apparently despite their poor results, Nintendo says in the report that the forecast remains stable and that its first parties have had a good start to their life cycle. But yeah, I think I was a little off here because apparently it's saying that Nintendo was reaching for the 156 million mark, which, yeah, I don't know about that one. That's before, you know, the end of March of 2025. That's the end of the fiscal year. So yeah, I don't know. Nintendo's going to have some huge game coming out before the end of that time period, and I don't know what the heck it could be. I mean, we know what's coming the rest of the year. There's probably nothing else, and if there is anything else, it might be extremely small. Nothing of the likes that we've seen so far. So yeah, I don't know, Nintendo. 156 might not happen. Now, obviously, this isn't like in need of concern or like, you know, start freaking out now, you know, red alert, high alert, everybody, you know, run. No, not necessarily. But it is a little worrying to the fact of Nintendo needs to start doing something for this next console. I mean, we know that they're going to announce the thing this fiscal year, but that's between now and still March of 2025. And a lot of people are starting to think that Nintendo might try to stretch and wait until March of 2025. Well, I thought they would have too before these reports came in, and I don't know if Nintendo can afford to wait. I know they want to reach that number for hardware sales, I get it, but profit is kind of more important for the company. They want to make money, and if they're not making money, they're going to have to change up their formula. I think that's why Nintendo just simply said, we're going to share information about Switch 2 sometime in the fiscal year, because they didn't know. I don't think they ever had a planned date to actually talk about this thing originally. They first maybe wanted to see how the sales would go, and maybe now they can act off of it, saying, hey, these sales are pretty daggone low. It might be time to start hyping up the next console. But in turn, wouldn't that also, you know, limit the amount of sales for the current Switch once you announce Switch 2? I don't know what Nintendo's planning on doing, because right now it's just kind of, you know, where do they want to prioritize? Selling more Switch units or making more money? Because they're definitely going to make more money by getting pre-orders and people excited for this next console and releasing the games. And that's just the thing. Nintendo is not going to sell that many more Switches because their games that are releasing are very smaller games. They're more AA games or games developed by partner companies that, you know, work in hand with Nintendo. These are Mario parties. These are Zelda spin-offs. These are, you know, Mario spin-offs with Mario RPGs. So they're not going to sell the way Nintendo is expecting them to sell. And people are waiting for the next big 3D Mario. It's been almost 8 years now. People are waiting for the next Mario Kart. It's been over 10 years. Smash Brothers is coming up soon. Luigi's Mansion is coming up soon. There's a lot of other big franchises that it's time to see new games with, and that's the thing. I don't think a lot of people are like losing their minds over, you know, getting their hands on this next hardware. People just want to play these new games. People want that next big AAA game, and if they keep pushing on this Nintendo Switch and keep releasing smaller titles, we're never going to get those big games. It's time to announce the big games. It's time to announce the new console. I feel like it is coming soon, and I still do believe that it could be coming within the next couple of months, which is exciting, but it's very evident that Nintendo might need to change up their formula because Switch is on its way out, no matter how long they try to hold on to it. So personally, what I think Nintendo should do is just announce this console, either this month or next month. Get the word out, get people excited, and then when the September Nintendo Direct comes around, you can show off all these games, talk about them, and that even gives them room to now announce a new big game. Maybe that's where they announced that big new 3D Mario game. Maybe that's where they announced a new Mario Kart. Something along those lines to get us excited for something, to get people back into that hype, because we had hype with that last Nintendo Direct, but still people are now just waiting on Switch 2. Like, it doesn't matter how many games they announce for Switch, people are ready for a new console. They're ready for a more powerful console. They're ready for more powerful graphics. They're ready for the next era and generation of games. It's time. I know I've said this a lot, but it's just so hard to try to figure out what Nintendo's doing, you know, especially with Metroid Prime 4 in the lineup, because it's just like, where does that come in? Does Nintendo release this before March of next year? Is the Switch 2 not coming March of next year? Is it going to be even later? Are we going to have to wait till the summer or even the holiday of next year? Can Nintendo even afford something like that? I don't know. My brain's all over the place, but I'm very curious to hear what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you think Nintendo is going to reveal this thing soon? Do you think they need to? Feel free to comment and let me know, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.